Wayne, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Pete.
Good, good. Thanks for coming back in. We're doing our monthly calls.
Right.
And we got Wayne Martin from Real Estate One.
Yep.
Been doing real estate for many, many years.
Many years. We've been in Reading over 20 years.
Local expert.
Yes.
Real
very
estate
much
expert.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's we've seen a lot of different markets in Reading, but you know what I'm really excited to hear about is what is going on with interest rates and mortgages, because that really affects the real estate industry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also after that, what about refinances?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure.
Let's
Definitely.
go.
Yeah. So yeah, interest rates have been coming down. For the last 6 months, interest rates have been coming down pretty good. So 6 months ago, you could see interest rates around 7.5%, and they got as high as almost 8%. And the last 6 months, inflation's been coming down.
Yes.
So with inflation coming down, the long-term 30-year fixed mortgage has been coming down with inflation, which is very, very good news.
Yes. Yeah.
Inflation's been coming down, and so that's really good news for two reasons. The first one is anyone that's wanting to buy right now and has been waiting for rates to come down, well, now is your opportunity to take advantage of those rates.
Absolutely.
So just to give our audience an idea, so we're October 2nd, I believe, of what today's October 2nd.
Our recording date.
Yeah,
today.
Recording date. So
2024.
yeah.
Anyway.
Interest rates right now are in the high fives, low sixes, depending on the situation. So like I've been quoting, with good credit, decent down payment, 5.99, 5.875 right now on a 30-year fixed mortgage.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, in the high fives. Yeah.
It was kind of ugly for a while. Mm-hmm. But now that they've come down, my question would be, should they really get going on it and look for a purchase right now? I mean, I have my own opinion on that. But.
Yeah, and if they're ready and if they can afford to buy and that's an affordable payment for them, 100% get in as soon as you can. Right. We've had multiple conversations about why it makes sense to get in as soon as possible, but make sure that payment's affordable.
Right. You have to. Yeah, you don't want that house to own you, but at the same time, you got to get in the game. And there's so many positives to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have to really look at your discretionary spending, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. The other thing, too, with the lower interest rates, which is great because there's more buyers coming in to purchase, we're going to see homes appreciate because there's such a limited supply.
Yeah. Yeah. With homes being more affordable, with those payments being less, you'll see more demand coming in. And right now, I think that we have a lot of people kind of on the fence because of the elections.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of uncertainty there of what's going to happen with the election.
Sure.
And every 4 years we go through this.
Right. Sadly.
And sadly, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, want to make sure that, whatever party they're associated with, they feel comfortable going into a large purchase.
Right. Well, the other thing, too, is people say, I'm uncertain, not so much about their job, but maybe their earning power, or, we have a saying, anybody that's in sales, basically a confused mind always says no.
Yeah.
And so until you have clarity and you're sure, you feel safe, then you're not really moving forward.
Yep.
But this is the other thing that we've seen, if you look at all the charts on appreciation and inflation and all that of homes, they always tend to pretty much always go up.
Yeah, yeah. The long-term trend, if you're going to buy this as a primary residence,
yes,
don't buy if you're going to sell in a year.
Right.
I wouldn't try to day trade or year trade your house.
Right.
But, this is a long-term play for you and your family. So, long-term over the next 5 to 10, 15 years, it's a great move, especially, if you can afford that payment now. To give you an idea, first-time home buyer 6 months ago, if they wanted to buy a home for $300,000, sorry, I'm going to say $350,000. If you wanted to buy a $350,000 home, Well, that payment with tax, insurance, and everything included as a first-time home buyer for 350 was about $3,600, $3,700. Now that payment is closer to $3,000.
Oh,
So it's like a
yeah.
$500 or $600 less in payment for that $350,000 home.
Yes.
So that's huge, and that's what everyone's. So like
Right.
6-7 months ago, they're like, "What's my payment?" Well, it's like $3,500, $3,600 for this home. Wow, man, we were hoping to get 3,000.
Right. Well, now
Now
it
it's
is.
here's your opportunity.
Right.
Yes, let's
Right.
go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing is, do you think people are just still holding back on deciding to purchase homes?
I think so. It seems like there's a lot of people that can qualify that still haven't pulled the
Right.
trigger, and it's hard to say all the reasons why. I
Right.
mean, what are you seeing?
Well, we've seen in the last month, month and a half, a little cooling of the market. Again, I think a lot of that has to do with being involved in the election cycle. The other thing, people kind of on the fence about will rates come down? If how low will it go? Will it ever go to 3%?
Yeah.
They're trying to, look at the past and say, oh, it's going to go back there, which is not true. It's not truly going to happen. And some of the information that I've been reading, the Fed, which is not totally linked to mortgage rates, but they kind of follow. There's trend in there.
Yeah.
They're just going, if inflation has tapered down and the jobs report comes in, a little weaker, they don't think they're going to drop rates. That was the last thing I read just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So now whether that happens, who knows?
It's a very important measure. The Feds have two mandates for controlling that short-term rate. The two mandates are keeping our jobs, keeping our employment at a low employment number, or high employment number.
Right.
The
Low inflation.
and low inflation. So inflation and keeping a lot of jobs out there.
Right.
So the inflation's been coming down, and the unemployment rate has been going up, and so the unemployment rate went up from 3.8. Their meeting before they met this last time, it was right around 3.7, 3.8, and all of them were saying, "Oh, we don't think it's going to get past 3.9." Well, within a short amount of time, it went to 4.2. And this is why they came in and said, "Hey, yes, we're going to lower interest rates because they want to keep that job. They want to keep the jobs going. They got to keep the job market going."
Yes.
That's why they lowered the federal funds rate, not necessarily because inflation has not yet hit their target. Their target inflation number has to be under 2%, 2%
It's
or
always
below.
a balance.
Yeah, they got to balance it. So, that's the thing is they lower the federal funds rate. Now they got to be concerned about that inflation not going to that 2% target and going to maybe 3 back up to 3 or 4.
Right.
And that's what long-term interest rates can't have.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is people are going to start purchasing again. And in the simple fact of our local economy, Dignity Health just started the construction on their
Did they really?
their campus. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
the
exciting.
Opening ceremony was this last week. There's just a lot of jobs that are going to be coming to Reading very rapidly, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on the current inventory of homes that people can sell, and so it's going to drive.
How many homes do we have right now on the market?
How many homes? Okay,
roughly.
let's take a look at that. Active listings 624.
624. It's coming down. It was 7 something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 624. We're down. A month ago, it was in the 700 range. Yeah. So the inventory has been coming down.
Well, and a few years ago, we'd run 1,500 listings.
Homes
in the
on the market.
NMLS, homes for sale. And, it's just after the 3% interest rates hit, all these people refinanced and they're not going to sell their homes unless they have to.
And that's inventory we need.
And that's inventory we need. And we also, with the car fire, we lost 800 houses. Only 25% of that, so 200 houses were rebuilt.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot inventory of that 800,000. Would have also been available for purchasers.
Yeah.
And so it's really put a squeeze on home inventory just because refinance and then the fire.
Yep. Refinance, lower rates, people keeping that lower rate, and less homes that are built, like less because they lost their houses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't have that inventory to list. So it's been, and then we've also seen a squeeze with if you live in rural areas, fire insurance has played a big role, and for mortgages too. So our advice to you is to work with a realtor that can help guide you into areas that are not high fire.
Making sure that you know what your insurance will be before you
as best you can
make the offer. I mean, yeah.
Or before you really lock in on waiving your contingencies.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
our job to help direct you to insurance providers. Do recommendations so you can get a good feel for what your payments are going to be, because you have to figure that in. How does that work, Pete?
Figuring insurance in with the payment? Yeah, I mean, the insurance goes a part of the monthly payment, so homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
And so if you're buying where there's a high fire zone, then I call it the California unfair plan, but you have to get the California fair plan,
right?
Because no other insurance company will go there. So if you're buying in a zone like that, which a lot of people do want the multiple acre property, they want to have more room and more space, and that more room and more space comes with a higher fire zone, unfortunately. And so the insurance, I think it's getting a little bit better with the quotes that I'm seeing come in.
Okay.
But it's still very, very expensive for a California Fair Plan. Very expensive.
Yes. California Fair Plan is very expensive. So my word of advice of showing property and negotiating on the real estate side is, if you could be in the city or in an area that has a full-time fire department and
correct,
has fire equipment, everybody's full-time. You have fire hydrants.
So the closer you are to a fire station or a fire hydrant, or closer you are to water, let's say, the lower the cost of the insurance. So
that's the way it works.
Less risk.
And it also depends upon, do you back up to a canyon? So even if you're in the city of Redding and you back up to a canyon, that can raise your rates substantially.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
I mean, we like the green belt and that idea, but from a fire insurance standpoint, that's not always the greatest thing. But you just got to shop around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. The other topic that's hot right now is refinances.
Oh, refinance. Should they do it now or later? What's your
It's a big question everyone's asking me right now. So everyone that bought in the last couple of years, they got in the high 6s, mid to high 7s interest rate. So with these lower interest rates and the lower 6s and high 5s, the question is, hey Pete, should we wait before and see if rates are going to come down because they're watching CNN or Fox or whatever news channel?
Right.
They're seeing interest rates are coming down. But the thing is the 30-year fixed mortgage, what a lot of people don't understand is the 30-year fixed mortgage, since the Feds lowered the federal funds rate, interest rates have ticked up.
Oh.
They have not come down since the Feds lowered the federal funds rate. Rates have gone up about an 8 to almost 0.25% since they actually lowered that federal funds rate. So it's not always like – so the question that someone should ask, hey, should I do it now? Right now, if you can recoup the cost of the refinance within a 12-month period, 12 to 18 months, my recommendation is to do the refinance, and then if rates do come back down, you're recouping that cost of the refinance within a 12-month period, let's say 12 to 18 months. And then you could, if rates do continue to drop, we can look at doing that again. But you really want a professional looking at your mortgage for refinancing, because there's hundreds and hundreds of online lenders out there. I got a quote. A customer came in. He's a past client. His servicing company showed him, hey, let's refinance your home. And they were charging him 3%. It was like $15,000
what
to charge to get a lower interest rate on his mortgage. It was like 5.99%, and they were charging $15,000. And so these big mortgage companies online, you definitely have to watch it. And have someone in your pocket, a mortgage person that you can trust, because me doing that same refinance, it was like $3,000 for that same rate or whatever,
which you could recapture really fast.
Recapture
and
a lot
then you
faster.
could follow if the rates went down again. You could just do it again.
Yeah, and I don't recommend people pay thousands of dollars to refinance.
No.
It doesn't. You want to make sure you get that recapture quicker.
Right.
And so, should you take that refinance now? Well, it depends on the situation. If you can recoup that cost quicker, absolutely go for it. And then let's watch your mortgage as it comes down.
Well, and it also wouldn't it make a difference, like if you, depending upon the type of job you have and your job mobility, you may not want to refinance. Because if you're moving in a year and a half, or that's why you need that low cost, small window, because life changes.
Yeah. So with this customer, his recoup time was like 6 or 7 years, and he was all excited about the low interest rate that he was getting.
Right.
And what he didn't realize is his loan amount's increasing by that amount.
Yeah.
It's taking away their equity.
Right.
And so what happens is this guy, he was planning on moving in the next couple of years. Potentially, he didn't like the heat. He was he was an older gentleman, and so he's like, I want to move back up to Oregon. Right. Well, if he moves, he just wasted a ton of equity on that home. Yeah. And so this is why having someone that you can trust that's going to give you the right information.
You just need all the options. People are pretty intelligent. I've been doing this all my life for 40 years. People are pretty intelligent if you help them understand really all the moving parts and you understand what their goal is. Mm-hmm. But you got to get all the you got to get all the knowledge, information so you can make a great decision.
Yeah. So what a refinance is, for anyone that's listening may not know what a refinance is. So a refinance is getting a new mortgage and paying off an existing mortgage. So if rates come down, you can get a new loan, qualify for a new loan. So you have to, qualify for that new loan to pay off the existing loan. The current servicing company, whoever has that mortgage, isn't going to just lower interest rates as rates come down.
Right.
Because you got a 30-year fixed mortgage. Most of these are 30-year fixes. So you're getting a new loan, and that new loan comes with a cost.
Yes.
So you have to understand that, and that new cost, what will happen is these other online lenders, they'll build that cost into the loan amount, and you won't really pay attention, and you're looking at just the payment, because the payment is what's most important to people. So they're looking at that payment, oh, wow, I'm saving $300 a month, but they're not realizing that they're losing the equity in their home.
Right. They're trading the equity for that interest rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story, call Pete.
Call me. I'll be honest. And
Right.
I'll be, I turned someone down yesterday, because it was going to be like a 3-year period before they actually recoup their cost.
Right.
I said, hey, I think you should wait. And, it doesn't make sense to do it necessarily right now. This situation, they have a home in Cottonwood, and it's a manufactured home, so a little bit more expensive on the cost of the rate. But it bumped that cost up to where it was 3-year turnaround time instead of like a 12-month turnaround time. And so I was like, hey, I think you should wait here. And she's like, well, yeah, our goal is we want to sell this place and find a different home in a different area and maybe get more property. I was like, okay. I mean, yeah, I think it makes sense for you to wait then.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Can you afford the payment you're in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues around that.
Yeah.
But if you know what they are, you can really give, good information.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody can make a informed decision and move forward.
Yeah.
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 So that's really cool.
So are you seeing a lot of more, are you seeing people wanting to maybe transition to sell and buy, the people that have been on the fence of maybe upgrading or downgrading? Because going from 3% to mid-5s is a lot easier swing than going from 3% to 7.
Sure. I haven't seen it yet, but I was looking at a report, and they said that mortgage applications were up, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So because mortgage applications are up, it means that we're going to have more buyers moving into the marketplace. Yep. So I anticipate seeing that
seeing a push.
Seeing a push in the next month that we're going
Yeah.
to see a lot of people coming into the market. So
Yeah, my thoughts are 2025 is going to be a killer year for mortgage and real estate.
yeah,
Killer year. I think we'll have more favorable interest rates. We'll be past the election,
right,
past the holidays,
right.
because the holidays are going to slow it down too.
Yeah,
People are going to slow down from
Yeah.
transferring, and I think there's a lot of people that are on the fence, have been on the fence for a few years on
right.
wanting to upgrade or downgrade into a new home.
Yeah. I would say if you're on the fence, but you know you're going to make a move, that I would start working with your mortgage person, Pete,
Yeah.
and start putting all the pieces in place, because you never know, you might see a dramatic swing and interest rates drop, or, just,
Or you find that perfect home.
yeah, you find the perfect home.
That you
just
love.
go, I got to
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
But just be, don't wait and go window shopping without being,
Yeah, understanding.
approved or,
Yeah.
Pre-qualified at
Yeah.
least. And then,
Yeah.
because you can miss that perfect house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to 2025.
2025. So right now, we got we got the statistics now here for September. Is this for September here? Or is this
This is so
year to date?
We're really looking at August. What's
okay.
happened?
Okay,
So,
August, yeah.
So year to date, sold. There was about 200 houses sold in August, and year to date, we're about 1,582 houses totally sold for the year. So,
so 20 so for August we were trending 2,400 homes for this to sale, but we're at 1,500 right year to date.
Year to date.
Yeah, so it's right
Yeah.
on track. Yeah, it's on track
yeah.
there.
So we also have this other statistic that we look at that really kind of recaps. So market statistics year to date, Shasta County, greater Shasta County area for the year is, like we said, 1,582. We're down 15% in transactions.
From the year before.
From the year before, we're up 3% more listings than the year before. So there's a little more inventory. The average sales price year to date is $403,000.
Is that down a little? Oh no, that's up from last year.
1.9%.
Wow. Okay.
From last year.
Yep.
And the average days on markets are 87.
This is interesting. So the August, the month for that month, August, the average sales price was $396,000,
Right.
and that was up 0.3% from the August year before. Is that
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's been a 3% increase
from
in
the August of the year
average
before.
sales price.
Yeah, and so what that means is what this means is that each month has a different demand for real
Right.
estate than another month. So
But year overall, that's a 3% increase.
yeah,
So say, just make it easy. So 3% on 400,000 is $12,000 of appreciation.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
you have to work pretty hard to make $12,000, pay taxes and put it in your pocket, or
Right.
if you own a home and
Yep.
it goes up.
Yeah, not to mention you also get the amortization along the way, the 12 months, because that payment you're paying down that mortgage. So
Right.
you're getting that amortization plus you're getting the appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, great. Yeah, so the real estate keeps plugging along like it always has, and it
Yeah.
will probably always will
Yeah.
be.
Yep.
So pretty exciting stuff. I'm looking for this fall. Actually, a lot of times fall is a big sales time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would think, it's going to really fall off, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. It's always been interesting to me. But the kids go back to school, and it's more stable, and people go, let's go shopping.
Yeah.
I got to get in before Christmas.
Yeah. It makes there's a push before the holidays or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yep.
So,
Nice.
well, great. That
Cool.
was
Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah,
We covered
thanks.
a lot of info.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, want to sell your home, buy a home, definitely give Wayne Martin a call, Real Estate One. You can look him up online,
Right.
Instagram, and he'll definitely help you out, give
Yeah.
you some really good advice.
Yeah, we can walk through your house. If you're thinking about
selling.
making some improvements that would add value or not, we're really good at letting you know.
Yeah,
because not everything you do is going to raise the value.
That's actually a good point. If you're wanting to put some money into the house and you think you may be selling in the next 2 to 3 years, call Wayne.
Yeah, give us a call.
Call Wayne because he'll let you know if you'll get that money back out.
Right, right, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so give us a call.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Cool.
Pete.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.